Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about some of the books that I most recommend. These are all books that will improve your life, and by improving your life, it will improve your career. I would probably give someone more kudos if they've read these books and if they've done any MBA or anything like this, because I think if you read these books, you will just become a top performer as long as you can implement what's in them. So I'm going to talk through them right now. I'll be as quick as I can. So first of all, we're going to talk about Extreme Ownership. This is by Jocko Wilkins and Leif Babin. These are two ex-Navy SEALs. It's a super interesting book because basically they talk about their military, time in the military, US military, as Navy SEALs, and then compare the lessons they learned there into the business world. If you read this book, especially in a corporation, you'll be thinking, damn, I really wish I'd read this earlier. Because you'll see so many examples that you will relate to in your business. And the main idea of this book is extreme ownership. It's about, as a leader, taking ownership for the problems, not just your problems, but the team's problems, the company's problems. If everyone takes more ownership, things get better. Most of the time, companies fail because everyone's blaming anyone and no one's actually doing what needs to be done. So it's a lot about how to work as a team, how to actually lead by example. Brilliant book, very interesting concepts, very interesting military stories mixed in with it. Can't say enough good things about this. I don't think anyone in leadership can go wrong by reading this book. Now, we'll move on to Deep Work. This is a book that I don't think you have to read all of it. I think you could read probably the first half to get the concept. But the main idea of Deep Work is it's exploring the science and just the logic behind the modern world and our attention spans, basically. Because most of the greatest arts, businesses, things, nearly all great things have been done from focus, where someone's relentlessly focused on one task and done it really well. And in the modern day, that's a pretty scarce resource. We're all getting pulled pillar to post across the board from emails, WhatsApp, Teams, Slack, and our ability to do deep work is suffering. So the principle of this book is basically how to get around that, how to bring more deep work into your life, and perhaps to remind you that this is a priority. If you're not doing deep work, you're basically, your potential is being limited. If you want to become a CEO one day, you want to run your own business, you want to be an artist, whatever it might be, if you can't do deep work, you'll never get there. And this is literally like soul destroying, right? So this book is fantastic to really understand deep work and have some methodologies to how to achieve it. Next, and I'd say it's a top tier book, Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. This is a life-changing book for some people. It really goes into a lot about the mental patterns that we have in our brain. So a lot of the ways that we think and act is all based around things that happen to us in childhood, early adolescence, and things like this. We have a lot of limiting beliefs, like I can't do this, I'm not a good leader, I'm not good at sport, I'm not talented at art, I'm not good at languages. I guarantee anyone watching this, you will have a ton of limiting beliefs that are holding you back in life. And it's very interesting. But basically, Maxwell Maltz was a plastic surgeon, and he changed people's faces so they feel better about themselves. But he realized that it nearly made no difference. Whether someone looked better or not, they still had the same problems. So his reasoning was that if you can solve the subconscious mind, the ways we think, you can change people's lives a lot more than any plastic surgery or cosmetic changes can make. So it's a fantastic book, 10 out of 10. Can't say enough good things about it. Next, we'll talk about Attached. So this book might be the best book I've ever read in terms of personal development. So this talks about how we have relationships and how we relate with other people. And the premise is that basically most of how you relate to people and have relationships is also based on your childhood, how your parents treated you and things like this. And I mean, this book will help your business, it'll help your relationships, it'll help everything. I think a lot of people will read this book and be like, my God, why did no one tell me this? Like that was my genuine response. This book changed my life. It's so good. I don't even want to. I just have to recommend this book to anyone I talk to. This can totally change your love life, but it will change your business life too. Once you understand your attachment style, other people's attachment styles, so many things just start to make sense. It really is a superpower. This book, can't say enough good things. 10 out of 10 book. Now, how to win friends and influence people. I will say, if this book was €10,000, it's still a bargain. Because if you read this book and implement the things, you'll make more than €10,000 from it. Easy. This book is absolutely timeless, incredible book. Like basically, if you know how to make friends and influence people, you can become a CEO. You can sell more. You can be a better father, mother. You can get more partners. You can whatever you want to achieve in life. This book helps you do it. There's no exception to that. And to me, it's absolutely timeless. I could read this book once every year and it wouldn't be enough. The lessons are fantastic. they're relatable, they're real, it's all involving people. This book has not aged in the slightest because people have not changed in the last 100 years. People are very much the same in terms of how they work at their core. So this book, I don't know which I recommend more attached to this. It's a very close call, but this book, it's a must read from my perspective. Absolute must read. Right, next is The Millionaire Fastlane. I wouldn't say it's a must read, but I recommend it to people because it basically gets you to think out of the social conditioning that we get from childhood and schools. We're all taught, like, you must have education, you must do a job, you must do this. And MJ DeMarco is basically saying, well, is that true? And challenges a lot of set beliefs that people have. And typically you'll read this book, and after 5-6 chapters, you think, I'm an idiot. Why did I believe all this stuff I've been taught? And it's just so obvious. You read this book and you just start thinking, damn, like, I've been doing nearly everything wrong to make me wealthy. People just lied to me my whole life. It's just a very honest breakdown of how people get wealthy. And it might upset a few people, but it's kind of the truth. You'll read it and you're like, I can't really argue with it. So it's eye-opening. It might upset you in a way because you realize, damn, like, I've probably been doing things a bit wrong. But I think it's good to be upset. If a book upsets you and makes you change how you think, then it's done a brilliant job. So excellent book. Next and final one we'll talk about is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I first of all, I recommend this as audible, an audio book, not the written book, because the audio book has a lot more context and it's got a lot of things that happen between chapters, so it's actually better. I think a lot of people misunderstand David Goggins. They see him as like, oh, he's crazy, he's trying to do crazy things. This book isn't about crazy things. This book is about mindset and how you see yourself and how you challenge your brain. And I think David Goggins has mastered his self. He is kind of tapped into something that very few people have in terms of truly understanding his potential and his ability and how to break limiting beliefs and how to push beyond the norm. I think this book is incredibly motivating. I think the story is beyond nearly unbelievable. There's so many lessons in this book, and I think we can all be better. Simple as that. Do you need to run 100-mile races? No. But that's not what he's telling. If you listen to the book, he's not telling people to do that. He's not telling. He's just showing people that they can do better. And by you learning that you can do better, what else is going to improve your career than breaking through that limiting belief and going the extra mile? There's 1,000 lessons to learn from this book. I couldn't even begin to start with it. So that's my advice on some books that personally helped me. I can't say enough good things about these, as you've noticed. If you've found any books you think I should cover that maybe change your life, this helps someone out there.